There's a lot of contradictory blogging advice on the internet, isn't there, right? So in today's video, I'm going to answer a common debate about whether you should have a WordPress blog or whether you should be writing on Medium. So I'm going to give you my answer at the end, but I am going to honestly talk about the pros and cons of having a personal blog on WordPress, and then also talk about the pros and cons of writing on Medium. And then at the end, I'm going to tell you a solution that's going to help you get the best of both worlds. But before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'm coming out with all sorts of stuff. I got tons of requests of content that people want me to create that's going to be beneficial and help you build your writing career. So subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can get that stuff. I'm fully dedicated to your writing success and blowing up this YouTube channel. So let's do this together. Okay, let's talk about, very honestly and bluntly, the pros and cons of each platform, right? So let's start with Medium. Medium is the platform that I personally use to revolutionize my writing career. It helps me make a full-time living writing. To date, I've made more than $424,000 writing directly from Medium. So a brief primer for those of you who don't know, medium.com is a website where you get paid to write based on read time from members who pay $5 a month to read articles behind a paywall on the website. So $5 doesn't seem like much, but there are millions and millions and millions of readers on Medium. So if you can build up a sizable audience and get views and reads, you can make money. I have several students who are earning 4 to 5 figures per month. I have several students who have quit their jobs via writing on Medium. I have students who get hundreds of dollars per article, thousands of dollars per article. It's in fits and starts, but you can make good coin on Medium and build your audience at the same time. So those are the pros of Medium. The number one pro of Medium is that you get paid directly for your writing, right? So I have monetized my writing in different ways at this point. I have affiliate marketing that I do. I have online programs that I teach. I do coaching. I have lots of different monetization models, but it took me a lot of time, effort, and skill to get those models to work. So most people try to get those monetization methods to work, but because it's so tedious, because it's so frustrating, they usually end up quitting before they hit pay dirt. And this is why I usually suggest new writers to create on Medium, because you can start to earn some money, and that's going to give you some inspiration and motivation and even funds to do things like build out your products in the future. And you're going to feel better when you have feedback in the form of some money coming into your pocket, right? So for the first 2 years of my blogging career, I didn't make any money. I was just writing to build up an audience, to build up an email list, to eventually, create something for them that I could sell on the back end to facilitate my writing career. So I wrote books that, that were hit or miss. I didn't really make a lot of money until my third book. I've created online courses and programs. I'm decent at it now, but in the beginning, I either tried to make a course and got scared and didn't do it, or I launched courses that didn't do well at all. I even launched one that got 0 sales, right? So those are the things some of the people are afraid of. And then it takes a lot of time to build up that audience and get things to work. So the pro of Medium is that you can just get money straight up for your writing. I wish there would have been an opportunity for me to make money directly from my writing when I first started, but there just wasn't. And Medium provides that, right? So another pro of Medium is that it has a built-in audience, right? So as I'm going to explain in the latter point, when you want to get a WordPress blog off the ground, you have to do so many other things to get people to your website. Whereas Medium, all the people are already there. There are people who are already looking for good writing, and there are millions of them each month. So the benefit of writing on Medium and writing on other platforms that have built-in audiences is that you don't have to generate an audience from scratch. You can siphon out some of the audience on Medium for yourself. So on Medium, I have a profile with more than 90,000 followers. I wrote articles on Medium and added calls to action to my email list to help me build an email list of over 35,000 subscribers. And I went to the various pockets of Medium who were interested in the subjects I was writing about, publications related to things like self-improvement and writing, So it was easier to get people to read my articles because they were already interested. So those are the two primary benefits. You get a lot of eyeballs on your work and you get paid. And the better you get at it, this is what I teach in my program. A lot of people jump on a Medium, but they don't know how to get it to work. So then they still go on there and fail. If you make some proper tweaks, you can get a decent sized audience on Medium. I have several students who are getting anywhere from 50 to 100,000 views a month after joining the program, who weren't getting very many views at all, right? So you can get on there. If you know where to look and how to post and how to write in a compelling way, you can make money and build your audience at the same time, right? So it's really a nice. The cons of Medium, there really aren't many cons to writing on Medium. Even if, for example, you have other ambitions, like say you want to build up your personal blog, Medium does not punish you for republishing your work from your blog post onto Medium, which, it's real. Like sometimes I'm like bugging some of my writer friends who have really popular blogs and they just simply haven't posted to Medium. I'm like, dude, why aren't you copy and pasting your work onto Medium? It's literally free money. It doesn't take long. It takes you 5 minutes to copy a post from your blog and put it onto Medium, and you can make money from it. It's like free advertising almost, right? And you can build your email list even further. So there's really no downsides to republishing on Medium. The one downside to publishing on Medium is if you decide to make Medium your sole means of traffic, and if you decide to make it your sole means of storing your content, right? So years back, I read a blog post from Copyblogger, and it talked about this concept of digital sharecropping, right? So sharecropping is where you farm the land, but you never rent the land, and you're always kind of in debt to the landowner, right? Well, the same thing can happen online, to where if you don't own any of your own assets, you are subject to the terms and conditions of whatever platform you're writing on. So, for example, people can sometimes get flagged on Medium for breaking rules that they might not have even known they broke, and you can get your whole profile wiped away. I've seen it happen. I've seen highly established writers with tens of thousands of followers who got their Medium profile turned off overnight. Now, this isn't common at all, but you have to understand that you can have your stuff revoked. And like, say you're writing for a platform like Twitter, or any platform, any of these online platforms, you're subject to those terms and conditions. There is an issue with censorship, right? I have seen several Twitter accounts get banned. I've seen Twitter accounts get banned that I thought were relatively milquetoast in their content, but if you break the rules, even they can suspend or ban you without giving you an explanation for why they're doing it. So if you build on top of a platform and rely solely on that platform for your success, when things are going well, they go well, but when they don't, right? So another example, a lot of people used to build their businesses on top of Facebook, and it was a while back, but there was a point in time where Facebook had a bunch of organic reach, right? Which meant that you could get a lot of eyeballs on your content on Facebook without having to pay for ads. So there were people who were building entire business models that were 100% reliant on Facebook. But what happened is that Facebook switched to an ad-based model because they were trying to make money, so they choked their organic reach. There's little to no organic reach on Facebook anymore. So businesses that built their entire platform on Facebook disappeared overnight because Facebook changed its mind, right? So there are platforms right now that have a ton of organic reach. For example, I know a lot of people who are doing really well on places like LinkedIn, and I think that's awesome. And I think all these platforms are great tools for republishing or for building audiences on those platforms, but still finding a way to siphon some of them off into an asset that you own, which is what I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But yeah, the major downside is that if you rely on, so for example, there were a lot of people who wrote on Medium, and not only did they write on Medium, but they didn't even keep an email list, right? So they were just relying on Medium to continue to pay them over and over and over again, which it does, but income fluctuates on Medium, right? So it would behoove you to do things like build an email list, to have other things for sale like books, products, etc., to kind of make your income more well-rounded, right? So there are a lot of people who didn't do that and they suffer the consequences. So the major con to Medium is that if you use it as your only means of getting traffic and making money without having any assets of your own, you're subject to the whims of Medium. Medium is still going very, very, very strong, but it's not necessarily going to be that way forever. All right, next we're going to talk about the pros and cons of having your own personal blog. So one of the main pros of having your own personal blog is that it's an asset that you own and you have control over, right? So I have a lot of friends who built up their personal blog and they've gotten a lot of traffic to their blogs specifically. Now, it takes more time and effort to get traffic to a WordPress blog than Medium. It's a lot harder. But once you get the traffic rolling in and you own that asset and that website, you can have a lot of really, really good success, right? You see best-selling authors like Mark Manson who have massively popular personal blogs. Benjamin Hardy was really huge on Medium a few years ago, but he pivoted to focusing on his own personal blog, his own book line, his own line of products, and he made a 7-figure brand just off of his own website, right? Another advantage of having your own personal blog is search engine optimization, right? So in short, that's how it's the process of getting your articles to rank well on Google. I had a friend who I just reached out to and we hadn't talked in years, and he decided to put all of his focus on SEO and affiliate marketing, and now his personal blog gets 200,000 visitors per month, and he's also making 40 or 50 grand a month through affiliate revenue and display ads on his website. So if you get a personal blog to work and it really, really works, then you have a super solid asset. You have traffic coming in, and then you're in control of your site. Your site's not going to get shut down like a platform like Medium or Twitter or even YouTube might do, right? So you own that asset, and then also it's a good place to have all of your content stored just in case. So if anywhere, I would just make sure to have backups of your writing, period. But the easiest way is just to have a personal blog and back up all of your content there. More pros to having your own personal website. It's also nice just from a branding perspective, right? So let's say I have my own personal blogs that do get decent traffic, and it's nice that when you Google my name, especially if you have a unique name like mine, my blog pops up. I can do things on my blog that I can't necessarily do on Medium, right? I have links to all of my books on my blog. I'm a little bit more overt about advertising my products, whereas platforms don't necessarily want you to blatantly promote and advertise the stuff you have on each blog post you write, right? So it's a unique feel and it's a unique brand, and it's something that you can build as a standalone. Like for example, myself, I'm going to be writing on Medium forever because there's no downside to it, but I am looking to get myself in the place of a Benjamin Hardy or a Mark Manson, where I have my own personally branded asset that becomes the center of my writing business eventually, right? So that's the pros to having the personal blog. The con is that it's hard to get traffic to your personal blog. It's hard, right? So either you do search engine optimization, which is something that I'm diving into deeply this year, so I'll have more content available as I become more successful at it. You can do that. You can do things like guest posting and creating partnerships with other websites and other companies. It's a really good way to get personal traffic to your blog. That's something I'm doing as well. But a lot of this stuff is very time consuming, right? And for most new writers, you're not going to want to necessarily go through all of those steps, doing a hardcore SEO and writing guest posts and building all these landing pages and content upgrades and things like that. Like, I've done it all, and it's challenging, right? So you have to you get maybe more rewards and like a stronger brand in the back end, but yeah, it's going to take some work. And most people who start personal blogs They're absolute ghost towns. Nobody visits them. They never get their articles to rank on Google. They have a very tough time and they quit, right? So I came up in the time where Medium didn't exist, and a lot of people were trying to make it work with personal blogs, and the vast majority of them failed, right? So those are the pros and cons to each, but I'm going to talk about a strategy that can help you get the best of both worlds. So this strategy is very, very simple. I'm going to try to break it down as simply as possible, but the answer to it is just to do both. So here's what my process looks like. I write an article on Medium or on my WordPress blog, right? I publish it on my WordPress blog first. I copy and paste it onto Medium, and then I do something called, maybe I'll make a video about this since people have asked. I'll create something called a canonical link, and don't let the wording fool you. It's very simple. So what a canonical link means, so I publish on my blog first, right? And then I copy and paste it over to Medium, right? Then I add this signal to Google that says, hey, this blog post was originally posted on iotheauthor.com, not Medium. So it's going to rank the article on iotheauthor.com instead of Medium. But here's where the cool part comes in, right? So one of the things that helps you rank your blog post is getting links from other websites to your blog post, right? So normally if you have a WordPress blog, you have to physically manually reach out to people and ask them if they'll link back to your blog. And that's pretty hit or miss. But often on Medium, since so many people visit Medium and they use Medium to find references, I get a lot of links on my Medium post without asking anyone. And so what happens is that when I create that canonical link, the link juice, so to speak, for my Medium blog, because I create that link, that juice actually flows to my personal blog. So if I get 14 links to a blog post on Medium, I get the equivalent of 14 links to my blog post on iotheauthor.com. This is through the process called a 301 redirect. Now, it takes some time to get this to work, but eventually, you're going to start getting credit back to your original blog. That's going to help your blog become more authoritative. That's going to help your blog posts rank more easily, right? So Medium has a very strong SEO presence, but if you can siphon off some of that for your blog, then you can be successful and get your blog to rank as well. So I have a lot of posts that I reposted on Medium that are ranking because I'm siphoning this authority from Medium. I've seen other writers who have built strong SEO presences. There's this one relationships writer. She got I think 50 to 100,000 visitors to her personal blog because she was using this strategy. She was writing blog posts on WordPress, publishing them on WordPress, putting them on Medium, crediting it back to her personal blog, and now her personal blog gets a ton of traffic. So the short answer is to do both at the same time. This video is running a bit long, so I'll dive into this process in a little bit more depth here shortly, but that would be my strategy. So when it comes to having a Medium blog versus a WordPress blog, I don't see any versus at all. I think you should do both at the same time. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you go to the link below, I actually have an article that teaches you how to get your personal blog started super duper fast for super duper cheap. So check that link out. There's links where you can learn more things about writing on Medium. There's a free 5-day email course that you can check out. You can also jump straight into my premium flagship course if you're really ready to get started on Medium. Or you could just do all of those things and start executing the strategy I just told you about today. So thank you so much for watching this video. Some other videos should be popping up in front of your face right now. And I will see you on the next video.